Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit activeday.com to apply.
Calaroga Shark Media.
On Saturday, President Donald Trump announced that American forces had carried out devastating attacks on 3 nuclear facilities within Iran. Just 2 days before the American bombardment, Pope Leo had given an exclusive interview to Italian journalist Ignazio Ingrao. In that conversation, the Holy Father made an urgent appeal for peace, stating that the world must try at all costs to avoid the use of weapons and seek dialogue through diplomatic means. He emphasized the need to work together to find solutions rather than resort to military force. The Pope's words proved prophetic as the situation deteriorated rapidly. Following the American strikes, Iran's foreign minister warned that his nation reserved all options for retaliation, promising that the attack would have lasting consequences. This is white smoke. United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres expressed grave alarm at the escalation, calling it a direct threat to international peace and security. In response to these developments, Pope Leo addressed the faithful during his Sunday Angelus, delivering a powerful message about the ongoing crisis. The pontiff acknowledged the alarming news continuing to arrive from the Middle East, particularly from Iran. He reminded the world that in this dramatic scenario involving Israel and Palestine, the daily suffering of populations, especially in Gaza and other territories, risked being forgotten, even as the need for humanitarian aid became more urgent. The Pope said, "Every member of the international community has a moral responsibility to stop the tragedy of war before it becomes an irreparable abyss. No armed victory can compensate for the pain of mothers, the fear of children, the stolen future. Let diplomacy silence the weapons. Let nations chart their future with peace efforts, not with violence and bloody conflicts." In this dramatic scenario, which includes Israel and Palestine, the daily suffering of the population, especially in Gaza and other territories, risks being forgotten, where the need for adequate humanitarian support is becoming increasingly urgent. The Holy Father declared that more than ever, humanity cries out and pleads for peace. This cry for peace, he emphasized, demands responsibility and reason and must not be drowned out by the roar of weapons or by inflammatory rhetoric that incites further conflict. Pope Leo urged every member of the international community to embrace their moral responsibility to stop the tragedy of war before it becomes an irreparable catastrophe. When human dignity is at stake, he noted, no conflict remains distant or irrelevant to the global community. The Pope delivered a stark reminder that war does not solve problems, but instead amplifies them and creates deep wounds in the history of peoples. These wounds, he observed, take generations to heal. No military victory, the pontiff declared, can ever compensate for a mother's pain, a child's fear, or a stolen future. In his concluding remarks during the Angelus, Pope Leo expressed his fervent hope that the noise of warfare would fall silent. He made a passionate plea for diplomacy to silence the weapons, urging nations to shape their future through works of peace rather than through violence and bloody conflicts. The Pope's message resonated with the words of UN Secretary-General Guterres, who warned against a spiral of chaos and emphasized that there is no military solution to the crisis. The only path forward, both leaders agreed, is diplomacy, and the only hope remains peace. Pope Leo has delivered his first major public statement on the Catholic Church's abuse scandals since becoming pontiff on May 8th. In a powerful message, he declared that the Church must establish a culture that refuses to tolerate abuse in any form. The Pope's remarks came through a message sent for a theatrical performance, dramatizing the work of Peruvian investigative journalist Paola Ugaz. This courageous reporter has faced years of legal harassment and death threats for exposing abuse allegations within the powerful Catholic organization known as the Sodalitium Christianae Vitae. In his message read on June 20th, Pope Leo emphasized the urgent need to establish throughout the Church a culture of prevention that will not tolerate any form of abuse, whether involving power, authority, conscience, spirituality, or sexual misconduct. He stressed that such a culture can only be authentic through active vigilance, transparent processes, and sincere listening to those who have suffered harm. Pope Leo's connection to this case runs deep, as he spent years as a missionary and bishop in Peru, where he worked directly with Ugaz on the Sodalitium investigation. Several survivors credit him as crucial in ensuring action was taken against the now dissolved group. Pope Leo insisted that journalism remains vital in ensuring the Church becomes a place where no one suffers in silence and where truth serves as a pathway to liberation rather than a threat. Through his strong words, Pope Leo has signaled a new era of Church accountability that embraces transparency, supports truth-tellers, and refuses to tolerate abuse or cover-ups. Pope Leo addressed politicians on Saturday about the growing challenges posed by artificial intelligence, with particular concern for its impact on younger generations. Speaking at a Vatican event attended by Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni and parliamentary delegations from 68 countries, the pontiff revisited a topic he has emphasized repeatedly during his early weeks as Pope. The Holy Father stressed that artificial intelligence must function as a tool for human benefit, not to diminish people or replace them entirely. While supporters of artificial intelligence argue it will accelerate scientific and technological progress and help people complete routine tasks more efficiently, granting them additional time for higher value and creative work. Pope Leo urged caution in its development and implementation. Pope Leo declared that personal life holds greater value than any algorithm, and that social relationships require spaces for development that far exceed the limited patterns that any machine without a soul can pre-package. His words reflected deep concern about preserving authentic human connection and creativity in an increasingly digital world.
There's always something brewing behind palace walls, whether it's Prince Harry and Meghan Markle making headlines from afar, or Prince William and Princess Catherine quietly preparing for the future throne. I'm Mark Francis, and on Palace Intrigue, we cover every twist, turn, whisper, and wink. From royal drama to daily gossip, follow Palace Intrigue wherever you get your podcasts.
He thought cryptocurrency would set him free. Instead, it made him a target. Alessandro Romano flew to New York for a business meeting with his former partner. What he found was an elaborate trap. A luxury apartment turned torture chamber, where digital dreams become real-world nightmares. For 8 days, he endured unimaginable torture. His captors wanted his Bitcoin passwords. They had police protection. They had done this before. This is the true story of friendship turned to betrayal, innovation turned to exploitation, and one man's fight for survival against a system designed to break him. Crypto Kidnap. Available wherever you get your podcasts.
When the world's most powerful people go to war, we can't look away. Welcome to Feuds, Power, Pride, and Payback, the podcast tracking the explosive conflicts shaping our world right now. Presidential administrations fracturing, tech billionaires threatening government leaders, entertainment titans destroying partnerships with single social media posts. These aren't just headlines. They're windows into how power really works. We deliver daily episodes when news explodes, weekly deep dives for perspective. From Washington power struggles to Silicon Valley vendettas, we decode the psychology behind the drama. and reveal why these feuds matter far beyond entertainment. Feuds, power, pride, and payback. Today's conflicts are tomorrow's history. Available wherever you get your podcasts